Not at all. Do you think it's ironic that Nicki Minaj, Taylor Swift, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, and Miley Cyrus, all Sagittarius suns, all entertainers, all have a brand of way, diva, Nicki's weird real blah, 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 Roman thing, Miley's crazy ways, evolution. A lot of them have an evolution. Partly because they're mutable signs, and like I said in a previous video, mutable signs can change to what is around them, and their fire, all of this is mutable fire. So it's like, oh god, how to explain it to you properly. It's like a campfire. It's like a fire, a phoenix rising. It's like evolution, really, evolutionary scale of fire. And all these women are remarkable in their own way and have come a long way. I mean, Miley Cyrus was Hannah Montana, and I was a bit too old because I'm 2 years older than Miley anyway. She had a whole show of her real dad in it, Dolly Parton, who's like her grandma and is in real life, or godmother, yeah. And then Britney, who's gone through this 13-year battle of conservatorship. At the time, I thought she was doing wonderfully when they put her in this conservatorship, because she obviously lost custody to her children. And that doesn't happen to a mother often, so I was a bit side-eye there. I was 17 when this happened, so I remember it really well. But the bitch still carried on, and her fans, the fans, made this happen because her evil dad was taking money. They were taking money left, right and centre. The mum's just too pathetic to even mention. But even people coming out from her past, and I'm going into pop culture as well as astrology, it's amazing. Christina's a bit like, I don't know, a bit like, I don't really like her too much because I don't think she is a generally very nice person, and behind the scenes has done some shady things. Like, I don't like how when Britney was going through the stuff with Justin, she was like on tour with him and like getting a doll of Britney on stage. But you can't deny she has an amazing voice and is a voice of the generation. I mean, Stripped, come on. Nicki Minaj, not a big fan of either. It's funny because they're both Aquarius risings with Earth moons. And yeah, so that is a good combination. They've got a good lot of things going on there. Nicki's evolved, and I like Nicki's recent interview with Joe Budden. They're willing to take accountability. Assange will be willing to take accountability, because half the time I don't think they realise how they're coming across, and they don't do it in a Scorpio way where it's vengeful. Britney doesn't really have that quality of a Sagittarius. Like, she has the quality of, she took too much shit until she just couldn't take any more and she lost it, shaved her head, and maybe she did it for attention, maybe she did it to get a reaction. We don't know, and we'll never know. I want to find these blind items on it, but I don't know how to do that. I don't know. So yeah, there's an example of Sagittarius. Taylor Swift, I'll go into her a bit. Her whole thing has been about relationships with men, and not very good ones. How about John Mayer and Jake Gyllenhaal, and how they took advantage of her at a young age. I mean, me being 31 now, I know it's different with women the other way around. You wouldn't want to think that. But yeah, Sag is a bit more softies in relationships than you think they are. They may be unreliable, hard to pin down, but a lot of Sagittarius can be in long-term relationships for a very long time. I know someone very close to me who is in one relationship for over 25 years, and they still talk to each other now, and they're fine with each other. That's what I strive to be like, and it's not like that with me. I go out with the whingy little bitches. And let's move on to Cancer moons. So Cancers love them, yeah. And I'm not saying I don't love Cancer moons, because I do. But Cancer is at home in Cancer moon is at home there. It feels comfortable. maybe too comfortable. So when the moon changes every 2 days max, whatever sign it's going to go into, that is how they're going to feel. So don't blame Cancers for feeling miserable sometimes. They can share their darkest secrets. They can be like your nurturer, your carer. And this is what I was trying to say to you about the Pisces thing as well. I've got a picture here of Sid Vicious, no, over there, with Nancy Spudgeon. He's wearing these big boots and an eye patch, yeah. He was a bit geeky. But Pisces, I know I'm going all over the place here, bring out a side of you. My ex-partner Pisces has turned me into this woman that I never was. I became into grunge, became into rock more, my style evolutioned, I started wearing jewellery. Like, they can have a really profound subconscious effect on you. They are like a drug, they administrated it. And that's something that happened, and yeah. If a Pisces is on drugs or alcohol in this lifetime, they haven't got a chance, because they're the last evolutionary scale of the signs. And if you haven't worked it out, once you've come to that stage, then you ain't going to work it out. You had the chance when you were in a Sagittarius sign to understand that addiction can be far, and then the humanitarian Aquarius energy came into you, where Aquarius is, I've noticed, you don't get that many addicts that have Aquarius energy. They just don't. Both my parents are Aquarians, and they don't really have that energy at all. Maybe because they look at things in a very strategic way sometimes, but also very different because they are ruled by Uranus and they're ruled by Saturn, which is very confusing because Uranus is unpredictability and Saturn's more sustainable. So I think you get your Uranus ruled ones and your Saturn ruled Aquariuses, and both my parents are more Saturn ruled Aquariuses. My mum's got a bit of the Uranus part in her, but she's a January Aquarius and my dad's a February Aquarius. Notice in your life as well, I don't know whether it'll be with degrees in your birth chart. So you get a wheel and then you get the time you were born. That's your wheel. That's a snapshot of when you were born. And you will see the degrees when you're looking at it. And they go through the signs thrice, I think. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 3 times. So however far that up is each sign. And I've had a thing where, I don't know if you have, tell me guys, tell me if you've had this happen, where you meet someone who's got a birthday that you've met with someone else and you've bonded like that. Or you don't necessarily have to bond with them, you've just met someone who has that same birthday. I had my dad, my cousin, and my first serious boyfriend all February 15th. Then I had my best friend and one of my boyfriends, March 26th, and my nan's friend, who's like an uncle to me, March 26th. That's weird. You'll get things like that, and synchronicities do come into play a lot with astrology. But like I said, there's no... what's the word? The word I said first when I was talking about Sagittarians. Let's go somewhere out of the ballpark a bit. Let's go... What's we not talked about? Capricorns. I don't know a lot about Capricorns. I'm trying to think of them. When I don't know much about a sign, or even if I do, I try to look at pop culture. And I try to think, who's got Capricorn placements? Because the moon in Capricorn is not comfortable there. It's just before Scorpio, where it's not very comfortable at all. A Scorpio is not at home at all. So Capricorn moons, they say, have mummy issues. And my mum did have issues with her mum. Her mum was a Cancer. I don't know if I said that in the last video. And they're complete opposites. My mum has very heavy Capricorn energy. So there we go, my mother. My mother is very cold, but does very, very practical, kind things, like this electric blanket I've got here. She won't be like hugs, emotional. Oh, I feel you. I've got that with my Pisces auntie. So when you've got your heavy water or your heavy 8th house or 12th house or 4th house, okay, try to get someone around you, if you can, if this is possible, that just gets you. I know that sounds so hard. It might be easy for some people. They might just attract that energy. But try to get someone around you who just feels you, who just gets you. You don't have to explain. They see an expression on your face and they're like, all right, we need to do this. We're going to talk about that. We're going to have a deep conversation about aliens. No, I'm joking. But, whatever it is, you're going to find that with Cancers and Pisces mainly. Really. That's all I can say. Scorpios sometimes, but in a different way. You will tell Scorpios more. They won't say much, but you will. So yeah, there's a different thing there. Cancer, you'll just find yourself talking and they will be like, oh, talking back to you and like trying to find like ways and say, oh, that's not that too bad, you know, you haven't done this wrong, and being a biggest fighter supporter. And you do it with a Pisces, there's nothing like it. I'm sorry, I'm like Pisces obsessed. They will listen to the deepest core of your soul and give you looks like, I don't know if they put it on, but they are just so amazing at doing this. They have that effect on you. We're going to think Kirk Bahane, just in love with the guy. Nancy Spudgeon, I know she was a bit crazy in that, but she was so intelligent. Rihanna has that effect on, alluring effect on. Elizabeth Taylor, alluring effect. Trying to think of any male Pisces men who are famous apart from Kurt Cobain. There's no one who comes close to that though, is there? Theo Von, if you want to go that way. I'm not making fun of you, Theo. I really think you're quite cute in your own way. So there's a bit of pop culture added with a bit of astrology, like my 2 favourite things. So like and subscribe to my channel. I'll be very grateful. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a lovely day.